What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Wednesday, June 17th, 2026, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now it is 17:48 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East. So it looks like Trump has signed the agreement with Iran to end the war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. So Trump is in Europe right now, in France, for the G7 meeting. And we're hearing that Trump personally signed a copy of the agreement during dinner with Macron at the Palace of Versailles. A photo of the signed agreement was sent to the Iranians and mediators. And Axios is also reporting that the U.S. and Iran have digitally signed the agreement today, ending the war. So the agreement is now in effect, meaning that the blockade will be lifted by the U.S. and the Strait of Hormuz will be opened. Iran has vowed not to attack ships that are crossing through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran said that there will be no signing ceremony, which was planned for Friday. So it looks like the Friday signing is not going to happen. It looks like the U.S. already signed it. So guys, this is a disastrous deal with Iran, worse than the Obama deal. Under this deal, we're hearing that Trump agreed to lift all sanctions on Iran, including their oil. So what that means is Iran is going to start selling a lot of oil to China and Russia and have zero sanctions or pay any penalties for selling all that oil. So that means Iran is going to be able to quickly rebuild their war machine. They're going to be able to add more missiles to their arsenal, and they're going to be able to enrich more uranium because there's not going to be any oversight in this deal. Also very concerning is that $300 billion will be given to Iran. There's going to be an investment fund where the U.S. and regional allies will contribute $300 billion to Iran. Guys, that is totally nuts, okay? We are clearly living in the end times because Trump is trying to force this deal down everybody's throat. And it kind of reminds me of the book of Revelation, where you have this peace treaty in the Middle East, which brings about the tribulation period. Now, I'm not saying that this is the biblical peace treaty, okay, but we're getting close to that point. If not, this could be that point, okay? And under this biblical peace treaty in the Bible, it says that there would be a treaty with Israel and its enemies, and then halfway through the tribulation period, so 3.5 years, there would be a surprise attack on Israel even during the time of this treaty. So is this the biblical peace treaty in the book of Revelation? I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. But this is extremely concerning. $300 billion going to a jihadist, terrorist regime that has thousands of missiles that can strike as far as Europe and thousands of pounds of nuclear material, okay? Does that sound logical to you? What the hell is going on with Trump? Has he been threatened by the elites? Are the elites basically telling him, listen, man, you better do what we say. You better make this deal with Iran or you're going to go bye-bye like JFK. I don't know. Is he part of the club? Okay, I think he personally is. I don't think he's an outsider like everybody thinks. Like all his MAGA followers think. He's not an outsider. He's one of them. He's part of the Illuminati. It's been proven many times. If you look at the 66th floor of Trump Tower, there's all kinds of Illuminati symbols in there. So this is very, very concerning. But here's a copy showing some of the points of this peace deal, and I have posted all the points to my Twitter account at NYPrepper1. I just posted the 14 points of this peace deal. And you remember when the points were leaked out and Trump was saying, oh, that's fake news, that's not true. Well, it looks like Trump was lying as usual, because it was true. Okay, it clearly says ensuring financing of at least $300 billion. Okay. And this update was sponsored by EMP Shield. Guys, EMP Shield has created a special discount just for you, the listeners of the NYPrepper channel. If you go to empshield.com and use the promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And why do you need an EMP Shield? Well, this is a special device to protect your vehicle, your RV, your solar generators, your radios from an electromagnetic pulse, which could be caused by a solar flare or potentially a rogue country like North Korea detonating an electromagnetic pulse weapon over the United States that's mounted onto a satellite. So protect your vehicles, protect your RV, protect your radios, protect your generators with an EMP Shield. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off. Installation is super simple. This is a veteran-owned business, 100% American-made, and the EMP Shields have been tested by the military, okay? And free shipping is included to the entire continental United States. And the link and the promo code are in the description below this video. And the U.S. will allow Iran to immediately sell oil and fuel without sanctions as part of the Memorandum of Understanding, marking the first time in several years that Iranian oil exports will be free from U.S. sanctions, according to the Wall Street Journal. And Iran's military command accuses Israel of violating the ceasefire. So earlier today, Hezbollah launched some drones towards Israeli military positions in southern Lebanon, and Israel responded back and destroyed the areas where those launchers, where those drones were launched from. So now Iran is saying that Israel violated the ceasefire. Remember, Iran, as part of the agreement, told the U.S. you got to keep Israel under control. They can't have their troops in Lebanon, and they can't strike Hezbollah anymore. Okay, so we'll see what happens, but it doesn't look like Israel's going to live up to that. So the silver lining here and the hope, the only thing we can hope for is that Netanyahu has the balls to stand up to Trump and do what's best for Israel, which is annihilate Hezbollah regardless of this disastrous treaty, this satanic treaty that Trump signed with Iran. And U.S. intelligence now believes Iran has demonstrated that it can effectively close the Strait of Hormuz whenever it chooses, giving Tehran a powerful new source of leverage over the global economy. And I want to read to you what Trump said yesterday in an interview. He basically dissed Israel and Netanyahu. He said that he was not happy with Israel and the way that they have been handling themselves with Hezbollah and Lebanon. He said they should have been able to do the job sooner, saying that it's been going on forever, talking about the operation in Lebanon against Hezbollah. He also said that Israel has been fighting Hezbollah too long and that too many people are being killed. Okay, so Trump basically, backstabbing Israel. Okay, he also ripped apart Netanyahu the other day. He also said, without me, there would be no Israel. Wow, that's pretty arrogant, guys. That is very, very arrogant, and that is not something a Christian would say, okay? And discussions are underway between the U.S., Iran, and mediators to move the signing of their memorandum from Friday to as early as today. So that was already done. Looks like they already signed it, as I reported earlier. Tasnim News is reporting that a U.S. intelligence assessment indicates that Iran may launch a surprise attack on Israel without prior warning following the Israeli strikes in Beirut on Sunday morning. And the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament said that the text of the memorandum indicates America's failure. Okay, so he's basically mocking us and saying that we had to surrender. Wow. And remember, guys, Putin and Xi Jinping are watching this. all these communists and dictators, they're watching this disastrous deal take place, and how the U.S. completely made a fool of itself in Iran. Okay, we expended half of our missiles, half of our Patriot missiles, half of our THAAD battery missiles. We expended a whole bunch of Tomahawks, I think half of our Tomahawks. I mean, thousands and thousands of missiles and bombs used, and only for us to surrender and capitulate to Iran's demands. Something is going on behind the scenes. Maybe Putin is threatening to release photos of Trump at Epstein Island if he doesn't sign this deal. That's the only thing I can think of. Somebody has Trump by the balls, because this doesn't make any logical sense, because the U.S. has the capability to eliminate Iran's leadership, eliminate the nuclear material, get it out of there, completely wipe out their military. We have that capability. But you notice the change in Trump's tune after he met with Xi Jinping. So it's possible also that maybe Xi Jinping said, look, if you continue the war with Iran, we're going to go into Taiwan. And maybe Putin is threatening to release photos of Trump at Epstein Island. I don't know. Galibov, the Speaker of Iran's parliament, said that Iran will impose service fees in the Strait of Hormuz. So even though they're going to sign this agreement, it doesn't look like they're going to live up to it. He also said the Strait of Hormuz will not return to pre-war status. He's basically saying that Iran still believes they have control over the Strait of Hormuz. And America and Iran will discuss a joint mechanism to ensure the Strait of Hormuz is not closed. Well, we'll see how that works out. And NBC News is reporting that Iran has been launching drones each night into the Strait of Hormuz since the Memorandum of Understanding was initially signed on Monday. Okay, and we're hearing that several drones were launched towards commercial ships today as well. All right. And Trump commented on Netanyahu and Israel. He insulted them bad. He said, we are the big partner, and Netanyahu is the very small partner. Wow, absolutely insane. He also said the new leaders of Iran are far less radicalized. It's actually quite the opposite. He also said we have a dispute over Lebanon with Netanyahu. So I think there's going to be a big split between the U.S. and Israel now. Netanyahu's going to turn his back on Trump over the Lebanon situation, over this deal. Netanyahu's going to feel like he can't trust Trump anymore, and that Trump stabbed him in the back. So I think you're going to see the honeymoon period end, and relations are going to cool down, if not sour, between the U.S. and Israel, which is not good. And a reporter asked Trump if he sees the 60 days as a hard deadline. He said, no, I don't. It could take longer. I don't view it as a hard deadline. Just as long as they are behaving, I really don't care that much. So that's what you need to know. I really don't care that much. That's the philosophy of Trump. He doesn't care about anything, just playing golf and, hanging out, having a good time at Mar-a-Lago. He doesn't give a crap that we're paying $6 a gallon for diesel. He doesn't give a crap that people are dying in Israel because of missiles from Hezbollah. Okay, he doesn't care. He really doesn't care. He just said it. Okay. And the Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman said continued IDF activity in southern Lebanon will be considered a violation of the Memorandum of Understanding, and Iran will respond to it. Okay, so Iran is going to strike Israel if they continue to attack Hezbollah in Lebanon. And the IDF destroyed the Hezbollah launchers used to fire rockets at Israeli troops in southern Lebanon earlier today. The launcher was loaded for an additional attack. Rockets discharged from the strike hit open areas. So it was actually rockets, not drones, that were launched towards Israeli troops by Hezbollah earlier today. And the Jerusalem Post is reporting that Israeli officials told the Security Cabinet that Iran was nearing an economic breaking point. Oil production was being cut, shortages were growing, the blockade was biting. Their question, if Iran was getting weaker, why ease the pressure now? Well, the thing is Putin has pictures of Trump at Epstein Island, and Xi Jinping is threatening to invade Taiwan. That's why Trump has capitulated, okay? And Vance said that if Iran continues funding Hezbollah, the U.S. will not unfreeze Iranian assets. And we have some very concerning news coming from Europe. A Russian warship fired warning shots at a British yacht in the English Channel. Wow. The situation is under investigation by the British and French. And Ukraine has just launched over 300 drones into Russia just in the last 2 hours. And some G7 country members will produce deep strike capabilities under license in Ukraine, according to AFP, citing a diplomatic source. So we have some secret members of the G7 agreeing to develop long-range missiles for Ukraine under license in Ukraine. And Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz at the G7 said, "We have informed Trump together with Zelensky that we are ready for peace talks. However, these talks must begin at the right point. What remains unacceptable is Russia's demand that Ukraine must give up the free part of the Donbass." So there you have it, guys. The war in Ukraine is not going to end. Europe is going to continue to back Ukraine. They see the Donbass as part of Ukraine, and that's the big issue between Russia and Ukraine. Russia wants a peace deal that involves the Ukraine signing away the Donbass to Russia, so Ukraine doesn't want to give up. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I might be back later on tonight with more breaking news. Please consider joining me on Patreon. YouTube has been shadow banning the crap out of my channel the last few months, and I may have to migrate over to Patreon eventually. So follow me over there. That's patreon.com/NYPrepper. Also, you can download my free app from the Google Play Store so you can get notified of breaking news on your phone directly from me, and you can get emergency alerts directly to your phone. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere. And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is Matt Hat Jerky. Guys, if you're a beef jerky lover like myself, you got to try Matt Hat Jerky. This is the best beef jerky I've ever had. I personally met the owner of this company at SHOT Show, and he's actually local to Pennsylvania. This company has an interesting story behind it. He founded this company when he was 11 years old. Yeah, that's right, 11 years old. He's now 19, and he makes gourmet beef jerky, the best jerky I've ever had. He's got over a dozen different flavors, and it's all sourced with U.S. beef, so no foreign beef, no nitrates, and no MSG. So it's all natural American beef jerky. And if you use my promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And you got to go to matthatjerky.com, and I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. That's matthatjerky.com, one word, matthatjerky.com. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off your entire order, and the link and the promo code are in the description down below.